Zootopia 2 review. I'm also gonna do some pull-ups. So we are back in the world of Zootopia, or sometimes known as Zootropolis. I don't know what the situation behind that was, but I know in my country for a long time, it was Zootropolis. Was that a copyright issue? I think so. Back following Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, you know, the bunny, fox, now police duo. Zootopia is one of the only modern Disney animated series that I think is actually kind of good. I think they've had a lot of flops recently, and especially with sequels. I think historically, the sequels have not been very good for these movies. Dare I say this is better than the first one? I'm gonna say it, it's better than the first one. If you were to tell me that a bunny became a police officer, I wouldn't have believed you. A lot of new things don't carry that kind of cultural impact that a lot of the things from like the 2000s and even the 90s had. I mean, there are some like, you know, Frozen, that's a banger, but I think the sequel, again, I don't love it. Moana, loved first Moana. The sequel, didn't love it. It kind of felt like a TV show. Although to be fair, I think that was the intention and they merged it into one thing. This is about Zootopia, not those, but going on. The first Zootopia movie I actually did quite like. You know, I feel like a lot of the plot and dialogue in that movie was very direct, on the nose, didn't leave much room for interpretation, but it was still a good, you know, nice story. I liked exploring the world of Zootopia, you know, an animal-like utopia. Whilst the first movie kind of focused on Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde kind of solving their first case, an unlikely duo in this kind of scenario and kind of overcoming stereotypes, right? This movie kind of already has their solidified relationship, but it shows their dynamic as a duo and it's quite nice. And I think the plot in this one was more enjoyable, generally. So in this one, you've got, you know, it's a story of, I guess, discrimination, rewriting history in your own favor, segregating a group. Pretty sad, yet real stuff, is what I'm saying. And without just, you know, talking about the whole plot, because, you know, I'm kind of late to this, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but we find, you know, the reptiles are already kind of outcast in society, and then the stuff like snakes that are banished. They're banished because they were framed to be bad in the past. But, you know, kind of obviously were framed. I don't think there was anyone in this movie that, I mean, I'm sure some people thought maybe the snakes are evil, but shock. It was the lynxes. It's always the lynxes. I've been saying this. Ever since Lynx Africa, I've been saying this. I thought this movie was also quite enjoyable for, say, adults like myself. I am an adult. They had a lot of humor that, you know, it's the old kind of like Shrek type humor where the kids aren't gonna get it, but you're like, haha, funny. I actually did laugh. I know it sounds like I'm being ironic. I actually think it's pretty funny. A bunch of little references too. Like there was a Ratatouille reference where I thought, I knew that one. And also we had a reappearance of my favorite character, Gazelle, Shakira. Yeah, she came back with another banger. I thought the Zootopia 1 bangers were good. This one might be better. And I love Shakira. I don't care about her whole tax evasion situation. Unless there's a deeper history to that I'm not aware of. But to my understanding, go get him, Shakira Gazelle. Go get him. One thing I find kind of amusing is, I feel like the movie kind of doesn't want to make it explicit that Judy and Nick are a couple, but they kind of do it at the same time. It's very like unclear whether they're just partners, whether they're lovers. I think it's implied, and maybe I'm being a bit dense. I know there's a fan base for the Zootopia series that may be a bit peculiar, and I don't know if they want to validate that group. So it is what it is. But again, I really enjoyed their interactions throughout this movie and seeing their growth together, not only as a partner, but more than that. The thing I wish they did explore more was the snake, something less snake. I feel like it was barely in the movie despite being kind of the main driver of the story. We explored a lot of the random side characters, a lot like the podcasting beaver, who, I'll be honest, that character pissed me off. I know everyone probably likes this character. I don't know why, that beaver just annoyed me. I'll be honest. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Also, I feel really bad asking, kind of shy. Subscribe, any chance? And I say that because at some of the climactic moments of the story, I feel like if we were more connected to this character, it would have hit even more. It would have hit harder. I think the fact that I think a lot of people probably know someone or is someone that's been affected by negative stereotypes can probably relate to the character even without them being fully fleshed out. Again, I think it would have been a bit nicer, especially with some of the dialogue options, because I feel like the snake was acting as if he was super close to Jenny and Nick and they barely even interacted throughout the movie. And I actually will say the plot twist at the end, I'm sure everyone thought, oh my God, it's so obvious. It got me. I really thought this was a genuine nice lynx trying to, you know, make up for his family's history. I genuinely thought this is what was happening, but no, he was just as rotten as the whole basket. break the cycle. We gotta break the cycle, okay? All in all, I'm happy that we are getting new, good animated series. I'm sure they'll do another one. I'm hoping they keep humans out of the story. I'm dreading a third movie where the plot is humans coming to Zootopia and they're like, what is this? Please no humans, just keep it animals. I was super worried they were basically gonna reset the events of the first movie and everyone was gonna doubt them again as officers, even though they just did the biggest case. And it kind of looked like that was what was gonna happen in the beginning, but it didn't, so yay. All in all, same characters we know and love, but we got to explore them more. Introduce some pretty cool new characters. I wish the snake was explored more, but it is what it is. I like the subject matter of the movie, and I think it basically hit all the beats it was trying to hit. So I think it's a really good movie, really good family movie. Anyone can watch this movie and enjoy it. Zootopia has definitely cemented itself as one of the current age animated series that we will come back to. So with that being said, Zootopia 2 gets. I'm gonna give it 8 Saxes. I thought about giving it a little bit lower, but given what I've said, and I don't think many other animated series have come close to this, especially with the sequel in recent years. So at least in like the kids animation department. I think some stuff like maybe Spider-Verse is not in the same category. You might disagree. Let me know if you disagree. So with that said, Sax and Jim out. Stay sexy, everyone.